What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled Gender Separation? Question mark, I guess. Buy my other drink, yes sir. Here's the thing. With all of these sexual harassment charges, I mean, you got people who are getting rid of because of sexual harassment allegations or charges, or been found guilty or admitted that they did certain things. And then you got certain people using sexual harassment allegations as an excuse to clean house because they couldn't really legally get rid of these people that they probably are tired of, right? So, bless me. Sorry about that. That being said, the solution could honestly be gender separation, so we can get rid of all the shenanigans. I don't think they'll do it for some of the reasons I'm going to say, because if you separate the genders, then you're able to separate production. Because once you separate the genders, you put the men on one side, you put the women on another side. See how the men work and what they produce. See how the women work and the women produce. Are there benefits to too much testosterone, or are there drawbacks to too much testosterone? Yeah, it's going to be weighed against the benefits and drawbacks of estrogen. And I think, it concerns me sometimes when I say, if I, by bringing up gender separation, when people say, no, we need to work together. Why? I mean, we can even, we could do things separately completely. Like, we could separate by gender. We could separate by sexual orientation, right? So all the heterosexual men and the homosexual men can work separately. All the heterosexual women and homosexual women can work separately, right? You have 4 different groups, right? That way, you won't have this sexual harassment issue. The women will feel safe because they're not interacting with men who and feel intimidated and feel demeaned or looked down upon. And if they want to be free sexually, they're just surrounded by other women, and that's their sexual free energy, and they're cool like that. Because women do things with women that guys would never think to do with women, but that's their sisterhood umbrella, so you can't really fault that. Same thing with guys. Like, we can talk, we can do whatever we want to do, we can get the job done. I think part of the problem is most of these groups don't want something like that, because it would have shined a glaring light on how much could get done if you separate the genders, but which gender would actually be doing it. The whole pay gap argument would actually be how can I say this? Would actually be debunked. The whole feminism argument of we can do just as much as you guys. Cool. That would actually be debunked. Now it wouldn't be hypothetical. It wouldn't be theory. It would be practically put down in the application. I am just as capable of any man, at running this or being a leader. Cool. So you should galvanize your women as they galvanize their men, as they galvanize their gay men, as they galvanize their lesbian women. Bow! Everybody, now it's a race to the finish line, And you could say it's empowering, Ladies will be empowered because they'll be, doing the heavy lifting. And you can't blame men. You say this can't get done because men don't want to do it our way, then you have the power to do it your way. Guys, you can't blame women. Oh, they always getting in the way. No. Ain't no women here to get in the way. It's no women to say, oh, I was distracted. It's no women to flirt with and take all day long and be on DMing chicks while you're supposed to be working. No. There's no more fraternizing with the women on your job, right? Because she cute and you working 12 hours, so you don't have a dating life because you work too much and she doesn't either. So why don't y'all just hook up? No more of that, right? So now you can't put that on anybody else at all whatsoever. You can't. You're going to come to find out what's more important, business or pleasure at the end of the day. Are you doing work for business purposes, or you just at work for pleasure purposes? You get what I'm saying? So it puts same thing with school. Let the men teach the boys, the women teach the girls. You have no more of this intermingling with the genders, and if people are smarter, they'll be smarter on their own accord, right? Men, boys and girls learn differently anyways. And you won't have all of this posturing to impress the boys and posturing to impress the girls that gets in the way of education. Problem solved. Gender separation. And then you don't have these people coming up, after the fact saying, yo, he talked to me 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago and I was uncomfortable because he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And in some ways you see it now anyways. I mean, look at talk shows, for instance. The View never had The View, The Talk, The Real, all of these female shows, female spaces have no space for men. Female gyms, whatever's a feminine or female driven genre of society, there is no space for men. It's completely, totally separated off. But when it comes to completely male-dominated spaces, they're all intruded upon. So you got men going to one space, and then they're like, yeah, this is a man's space. And then you got women like, what? Y'all can't go there by yourselves. You can't exclude us. We're going to exclude you, but you can't exclude us. See that? Just like recently with the Boy Scouts. Now you're letting girls in the Boy Scouts, but you're not letting boys in the Girl Scouts. So you know, if you would actually separate the genders, you wouldn't have these issues, right? You'll be able to create your own base. And sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder. You might help interact with each other because you'll see what you're missing if you separate the genders. You'll see the importance of a masculine touch in your life, and you'll see the importance of a feminine touch in your life if you spend your days separated. And you know, you could do it from everything. Hollywood, politics. I mean, we got to work together in politics. You got to work together. But what I mean by, the women can have women come that are politicians. Boom, they have their own space. They have female secretaries and interns. Bada boom, bada bing. Same thing with the men. You don't fraternize with the opposite sex until the work day is over. Till school is over, until work is over. That way, when you're dealing with people, you're actually dealing with them in a capacity to interact as men and women and consenting adults, and in spaces that people understand that we're here to talk, interact, mingle, maybe date, maybe fill each other out, maybe have sex. So now it's clear cut. It's not all of this murky things that, guys can't say this and girls can't do this, and there's no, you don't have to slut shame because if she came out that night to be a slut, that's what she wanted to do. She couldn't do it on her job because guess what? It was all women, right? They're not really feeling each other like that. So if she wants that attention, then she can go out and get it. So, in my opinion, maybe that's a solution. What do y'all think? We out.